Welcome in, everybody, as we're at the last 5 minutes of qualifying here at Dover Motor Speedway. It's your host, Bobby Boy, with your co-host, J-Dog. What's going on, J-Dog?
What's up, everybody? How's it going out there tonight?
Man, we're in store for a long haul race tonight, everybody. It looks like it's going to be a good one here. We're going to run for 150 laps today. Track temperatures are very high. These guys are going to have to be very concerned about a right front tire burning up. Do not push it too hard too early. Pit strategy is going to come a little bit later, as these guys got a lot of fuel here, so they'll get a little bit later run, a little more in halfway into the race. But it ought to be a very fun race tonight, and I can't wait to see what they do tonight.
That is so true. I'm hoping to see some good action here at the Monster Mile today, here at Dover in Delaware. This is going to be an exciting race, and hopefully they'll keep an eye on their tire wear.
So, we got a lot of battles going on here for the championship as well. We got Scott Cazenave, everybody, leading the points with 264, and Alan Marr right behind him with 250. Javier has now moved his way into that P3 spot with 242. And let's not forget Bobby Lane in the 02 now in that fourth place spot. He missed a race, and he was able to stay in that spot where he is and be able to move forward, as he's regained and come back. So we're looking forward to see what these guys do here, as we got Benny Jones also in that top 5. Let's keep an eye on that 20 car tonight. That 20 car can definitely put out something there, and it could be a game changer for any of these drivers.
That is so true, and I'm hoping it's going to be an exciting race for everybody.
But as we get these drivers here lined up, everybody, and they get everybody settled here on the end of this qualifying, we're going to take a minute and thank our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lane from Bass Tire.
Hi, I'm Steve Bass. We're here at the legendary Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Good tires and brakes are important on this race car, and so are the tires and brakes on your vehicle.
For the very best in tires, brakes, and auto service, come make a pit stop at Bass Tire.
Serving Nashville for over 35 years.
On Nolensville Road, next to the zoo.
right, we're getting ready to gear up, get these drivers here on pit road, get them lined up, and get ready to race. Can't wait to see what the outcome is here tonight. It's a lot of laps. Like I said, it's going to play a huge factor on who pushes it too hard, too early on in this race, because it can definitely push them towards the back here, as you can run around 50 laps here and you can get that right front down to like 14%, and it could get really bad. So it's definitely going to be a strategy game tonight, and can't wait to see what happens here. What are you thinking in your head, J-Dog, as they get ready to line up?
To these drivers, I'll be really prepared and make sure practice makes perfect. Especially on the track called the Monster Mile. Please, drivers, please, all drivers, be safe tonight out here on this track. As we gear up, we're get ready to grid, and Bobby Boy, let's get ready to grid up.
This is going to be your starting lineup, everybody. That's going to be Austin Cornpost in that P1 position in that inside lane against Andrew. Going to take up P2 with Bud Light Mike in P3 with Scott Cazenave taking up that P4 on the outside. That's also going to be Alan Marr in P5, y'all. He was practice and really good there earlier on. And, you know, he's fighting second for the championship against Javier in that P6. Carter Cazenave is going to come up in P7 against Dan Collison in P8. Rusty Robinson taking up that P9 with Bobby Joe Lane in P10. We're going to have William Martin taking up that P11 spot with Benny Jones in that P12. That's going to be Greg Langford in P13, everybody on that inside lane, with Zach Sandlin starting on the outside in P14. With Ryan Perrone taking up that 15th spot against Steve Harrison in P16. That's going to be all of your drivers tonight, everybody. 16 drivers tonight, battling it out for 150 laps. Are y'all ready to go racing?
I'm ready to go racing. I'm hoping these drivers are ready to go racing as well. Drivers are going out on the track now, and hopefully they get these tires warmed up.
So tell me, everybody out there in the chat, who's your favorite driver? Who are you rooting for tonight? Tell me, who is going to take the win here for 150 laps tonight? Pace car's off.
Green flag, we're racing at the Monster Mile, guys.
Austin Cornpost going to get a great start there. He's going to jump up into that high side lane there. That's going to leave Andrew still in that second place spot on that high side right now, currently trying to make that high side work so he doesn't burn up those tires. That's going to be Scott Cazenave battling out with Bud Light Mike here for that P3. Scott Cazenave now looking to take P2, now going to get around Andrew in that P3 spot now.
Coming around the first lap of the Monster Mile, they're looking pretty good. Coming around turn 3 now, getting ready to go into 4 now.
Light Mike back here looking to make some moves, still looking on that low side here next to Javier with Dan Collison right next to Alan Marr in the number 9. Allen now looking low. Allen trying to push it low as they're 3 wide right here almost. The 0-2 on the high side there next to Allen as Allen pushes back just a little bit.
Bobby Joe Lane looking pretty good now right beside Alan getting right behind Bud Light Mike going into 1.
Allen now getting the run on that low side. He's going to get around the 47 of Bud Light Mike.
Bud Light Mike is kind of looking pretty good and he's starting to slow down a little bit as some of these faster drivers are starting to pass him up.
You know, where you look, like I said here, you really want to save that front tire there, so you really don't want to push it too hard right now. So these guys in the front of this field, as this race goes on, their tire wear is going to get a little more worn, and they're going to be pushing more towards the back of this field.
And that's true, and that's right there is going to start our actual first pit of the pit round cycle when it gets to single file with all the drivers right now going to be going the back straightaway.
As we're taking a ride along here with Rusty Robinson, everybody. Rusty Robinson now running 8th place right now currently, and he is now battling 10th place here in the points with the ARCA series. So we'll look to see how Rusty does here. I know Rusty is really good with about saving tire wear here. He's very conservative on his tires. That's what makes a good driver here, guys. This track really matters there. As we switch over here to Alan everybody riding around in that dry row cam as we take in these corners.
We're right along. Single file now on the back straightaway going into 3. Javier looking the inside now. Andrew. Almar following the same path. That's Javier.
Javier looking to grab that P2 spot. Scott just going to let him go around right there just to conserve and not battle him right now. Not battling is what you want here. You don't really want to battle this early on. You know, that battling can really hurt you. Ooh, Dan Colson's going to come up a little bit there on Andrew there. They're going to scrub Andrew's going to scrub the wall a little bit, but they're both able to keep it going there.
Yeah, I saw that. Now they're single file on the back straightaway. Going into 4, going to the front straightaway.
Bunker Man said, let's go, Scott and Zach. Let's go. Bunker Man said, let's get it, boys. Let's go. Scott currently running that P3 spot right now, everybody. Zach's back there in P13 right now. As we're early on in this thing, there's a lot of laps to go. There's a lot to happen here still. So let's go, boys. Let's put it down. As the 0-2 now looking to take over P4 with Alan on that outside lane.
Bobby Joe looking in for the inside lane of Alan Muller right now. Right beside Scott now coming in to the back straightaway.
Along here with Scott Cazenave, as you can see how these battles work here, is these are how close they're racing in these cars and how they're taking the angle of these corners and just hoping that these tires don't give out. As if these tires give out, they will just break into a slide, and there's really not much you can do.
Now when these cars break loose, they break loose.
The 0-2 and the 95, they're almost getting into it. The number 9 of Alan now looking to take over that P3. Austin now looking to fall back a little bit there. Maybe pushed it a little too hard too early. Hopefully he's just trying to cool those tires down and make it on the longer run.
And that's true. These cars can't get too hot if you push it too hard. Going into 3, going into 4 now. Bobby Joe almost side by side with Javier going to the front straightaway.
02 now looking at the inside, putting on the battle with Javier. But the thing is, he's not going to want to battle him too much. He's going to want to try to make that move quickly as he can and try to get back in front of Javier and keep pushing forward.
Yes, you want to stay for a single file on this track instead of trying to pass somebody. Bud Light Mike's a little low at this track right now.
Yes, sir. Looked like he got into that wall a little bit, maybe trying to go in and hit. You know, you just don't know what happened there. So hopefully he can get that car underway and, you know, gain some of them laps back, maybe get a caution and get the lead on.
That's true. Bobby Joe Lane looking to the inside now on Javier coming over front straightaway.
Javier giving a great run on that outside lane. That high side is definitely getting a good run here. The 02 struggling to get around him right now. But the question is he really just not trying to push it away too hard? As he sees that line of the 95 and the 9 and the 03 and the 12, they're all back here together, piled up. They're all right here. And as these guys continue to battle side by side for the lead here, that's definitely going to keep this field very tight.
And that is true. That's definitely going to keep the field really tight as the drivers now get ready to come to the front straightaway. Still side by side on the front straightaway of Javier and Bobby Joe. Still battling for the lead here with Javier and Bobby Joe. Bobby Joe still on the inside of Javier now going into the 3, coming into 4.
O2 going to get a little bit of run there, and he's going to make it connect. He's going to get there and take the 24 for a ride, and he's ready to go. He said, I'm going. He said, it's time to set the speed. Tell you what, you got a good line of cars here. You got a great group of cars here. Anything can happen here as long as they stay where they are right now. They are kind of safe. They're actually playing it safe, and you know, it's not a bad thing to do here. You know, because you get too crazy, it's going to end.
And that's true. Now there's single file coming on the front straightaway. A good way to conserve on tires to stay single file.
Austin now starting to make his way there. He was looking like he was ready to peak there for a second.
I think he was just peeking his head around the corner, see if he'd be able to make his move. Now he's running with the He's looking pretty good now and just staying right behind him.
Austin running a little bit lower line there.
Bobby Joe Lane now setting the pace. Tell you what, that's a good picture for all them drivers right there, single file.
Scott Cazenave now trying to make something happen here. It's going to get Alan Marr on that outside lane, pushing with the rest of the group here. So Alan Marr might be able to get that run, but Scott's still going to get a good run there because there's guys in that lower lane in that corner, and that's going to be able to give Scott the push he needs to get back around the 9, but the 9 is still giving it everything he's got.
Alan March now and try to make his move back on Scott. Side by side now and back straight away.
Almost touching doors here. They are battling it hard. The 9 and the 03 of Scott Cazenave, they are almost doing it.
Battle for fourth position now. Scott Cazenave and Alan Marr. Alan Marr now starting back off to Scott.
currently battling for the championship right now as we're at week 8 here of 14, everybody, with Hrt to Heart.
Got Lamar on the inside of Andrew now.
Everybody, please don't forget to subscribe and show your love and positive vibes, everybody, to Hrt to Heart Motorsports. Please come check us out every Sunday. Races every Sunday, y'all, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brought to you by Hrt to Heart Streams, me and J-Dog. Much love to all of you out there. Thank you to all of the sponsors of Hrt to Heart, everybody. Allen, Tillery, everybody. Bass Tire, CNL Carpets, and Buchanan Resort. Much love to you all. Thank you so much for everything you do for this league. Man, I tell you what, it's been a close battle so far, but if these guys don't get in line back here, they're definitely going to be in trouble. They're going to let these 4 in the front here pull away.
And that's true. Looks like Scott's trying to make the inside move on Austin. Back to single file now, coming in 3.
Andrew now looking to make his way back up there. He's definitely pushing that 31 right now, trying to close that gap. Rusty Robinson now back there as well. He's looking to make his way now around Alan Marr.
That's a battle for 6 right there between Rusty Robinson and then we got one going around. We got a caution.
Oh, we got a caution. Let's go back, see if we can take a look at that last crash. Looks like Steve Harrison there was having a little bit of difficulty. Not really sure what happened. Looks like he lost control of it there, and yeah, he was just having some issues. It looks like he's left the race here. Guess it's too much damage to move forward. Man, it's kind of out of whack right now. But hopefully he has a better race next race. But sorry that happened to you, Steve.
Have some of the drivers now making an actual pit stop. Under caution here at Monster Mile.
As we're going to have the 02 of Lane here going to be taking up that first place spot, with Javier going to be in P2, with Austin Cornpro's going to take up P3, with Scott Cazenave in P4, and Andrew, my bad everybody, my bad, Andrew Longmire, everybody in P5 in the 31.
Pace car's off. Green, 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 green. Bobby Joe with a good start.
Austin going to make his way into that P2 spot.
Front straightaway now. Javier just touched bumpers with the 95 of Austin.
Rusty Robinson now working with some momentum here, getting up behind the 03 of Scott Cazenay. Going to look to work with him here in that P5 spot.
Javier just made his move on Austin now, as Javier now in P2 spot. Javier now looking at the inside of Bobby Joe in the front straightaway. Nope, take it twice. He scraped the ball in the front straightaway.
You know, you got 112 laps here. You don't want to be scrubbing that wall. That's definitely not where you want to be. As you'll eventually just get too much damage and you just don't know what.
Javier already looking at the inside now of Bobby Joe. Scott now making his move on Austin on coming up in turn 1, and Rusty following right behind him. Austin and Rusty now side by side, back straightaway. We have a new leader now, it's Javier.
Take a look at Andrew here. Andrew currently running into that P6 spot. Andrew putting on a pretty good race here. You know, he's been holding it pretty consistent up here towards the front of this field, and you know, maybe just looking to conserve it a little bit more, you know, and push it a little harder towards the end of this race. So we'll look forward to see what he's doing here a little later.
Right. Rusty Robinson now is picking behind the door behind Austin. Now in front straightaway going into 1. Rusty now looking to the outside of Austin. Nope, chase spot now. Back to single file here in front, back straightaway. Ooh, I think I just saw somebody scrape the wall.
Oh, and they're wrecking.
Oh, there, we got a caution.
A lot of drivers getting involved in that accident there, everybody, as we're going to take a closer look back towards the back of this field. A lot of these drivers got into this. Here, let's take a ride along here with Carter Kaz, everybody. This is Scott Kaz's son, everybody. Y'all, so show him some love. He's new to the Hrt2Heart Motorsports crew here. Let's take a ride along here in his cockpit, and we'll take a look and see what happened here from his point of view.
From the look of that accident, that was really rough.
Yes, it was. You still got over 100 laps to go. You know, you only have the one fast repair. So if you really got hurt there, you're out of fast repairs. You know, so for 100 laps, you got to hope to stay out of trouble the rest of the race and hope that there's not any more big accidents to happen here. You know, but you were looking really clean here. You know, 47 laps, the field looking really good here. You really can't complain. But the thing is you know, you really got to be scared of pushing it, like I said, too hard, or you know, anything can happen here. Anything.
Not even halfway through the race yet. You should be pushing that hard. You should be just taking it your time, being consistent. It's the Monster Mile. It can eat you alive.
Looks like we're going to lose Zach Samlin there. He's going to disconnect here. I'm saying he's going to be done for the evening. He's going to, you know, come back next week and hopefully have a better race. But it's unfortunate for some of these drivers. We got Greg Langford back here. Greg Langford has no front end on that car. There's no front end there.
You know the term of driving the wheels off of it? Well, that's a good sign right there.
I would say he definitely has some aero damage.
His car's off.
Heavy air on the inside with an O2 on the outside. Javier going to get a good push from the 03 there on the start. That's going to be able to give him the run he needs there to get around the 02 on the outside with Rusty Robinson. Lower line's just going to go away here, but that top line is still working a little bit. As now they're trying to line up here as they go into 5.
Going into the back straightaway now. We're a single file.
Javier pushing the car to the limit right now, doing all he can to get away. But as long as the rest of this field stays lined up back there, he's not going to have a chance. He's just going to go up there and burn them tires up like they want him to do, and that's going to allow them to come right back.
And that is true. Going into 1 now.
Take a look at the second pack of this field here. We got Bud Light Mike leading that with Hrt2Heart back here in the 77. Currently running in that 8th place spot with William Martin back here in the number 2, everybody, and Dan Collison. Oh man, and they got another caution here, another caution.
That brings out third caution here in the Monster Mile.
Let's go back and take a look at this right here. as it looks like he was going into one and he just cut it a little too low and he just lost control there. He's going to come on up, and Andrew's going to get a little bit of it, and he's going to come sliding back up into turn 2 here, everybody. As he rolls in a little backwards, he's going to put it to a stop here, let the rest of the cars get by. Greg Langford just rolling on with no front clip on that car, just cruising by, you know, taking a glance. Carter should be able to drive off there and run and get his fast repair and get where he needs to go.
This right here gives you the reason why they call it the Monster Mile. It will eat you alive.
We're seeing a lot of pit stops right now. That's what we're looking at here. We're looking at a lot of pit stops, a lot of strategy going on to play here as we're now under that 100 mark tier. So what's going to happen here? Who's going to play part? You know, Carter, he's coming out with that fresh car.
Now, bringing out that fresh car, he hopefully be able to stay in this race. This has been a tough race for all these drivers at this point, as we're under our third caution of this race.
All right, everybody, as we are here under caution, we are going to step away and thank our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lane from Bass Tire.
Hi, I'm Steve Bass. We're here at the legendary Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Good tires and brakes are important on this race car, and so are the tires and brakes on your vehicle.
For the very best in tires, brakes, and auto service, come make a pit stop at Bass Tire.
Serving Nashville for over 35 years.
On Nolensville Road, next to the zoo.
And we're back green flag racing, everybody, with Javier going to get a great start there with Scott Cazenave in the 03 and the 02 of Bobby Lane. Teammates here currently in that P2 and P3 spot here, both in that top 5 fighting for points here. So, you know, the question is, do they need to work together here? And hopefully that's what they do. They work together here and push towards the end of this race and keep it up front.
Me, I would have at least tried to lay back a little bit and just take my time until I at least get about 50 laps into this race, close to the end of this race. That's when I'll start pushing.
You see Javier is pushing a lot of speed here on these corners. He is looking very consistent. Scott Cazenave is looking to close that gap and keep that gap close with 0.3 now looking towards that bottom lane just a little bit more.
Coming in a single foul now on the back straightaway.
Taking a ride along here with Rusty Robinson in the cockpit now, currently running in P4. Like I said, he's running P10 in the points right now, so he's looking to gain as many points as he can here. If he can go up here and lead a lap, that can give him the bonus points he needs to move towards getting out of that P10 and move even further up this field.
That's a true story. Now he's trying to look to the inside now of Bobby Joe. It's a good battle right here for third place. Coming in now on the back straightaway. Woo, they kind of bounced off that front straightaway right there a little bit.
And William Martin there getting a little bit of free now. Alan Marr now going to look to the inside there and push his way around.
Alan Moore now on the inside, and William Martin right there in 2. Coming in now on the front straightaway. Woo! Martin just touched the wall on the front straightaway. Good thing Alan Moore got out of the way there. Now they're going into 1 and 2.
Martin going to be able to regain that control. Just keep pushing forward. Looking good. Getting it back in line. These side-by-side battles can definitely make a lot happen here, you know. You can overestimate that corner and overdrive it.
And that is true. Greg Lakeford now on the inside of William Martin.
We're going to see Greg Langford get that car picked up that off. And he's got a front clip now. So he's got the fresh car there as we're now at 88 laps to go.
Looking pretty good now, Greg Langford. I always like to thank him and his way he does and helps us out right here in Hrt2Heart.
Dan Colson now making it into that P8 spot. William Martin not looking to give it up too easily.
Single file straight away now, coming into 3, going into 4.
Take a look at that number 5 of Rusty Robinson now in P2, looking to make his way up here to Javier of the 24. Now looking and running a lot lower line here, getting a lot of speed, pushing on the backstretch.
Oh, Papa Joe got a little loose right there on top of turn 2. Now going into 3. Rusty Robinson now trying to look inside of Javier. Now in front straightaway. Now side by side, going into 1 now. Rusty Robinson now on the inside of Javier. Now in back straightaway. Rusty Robinson now trying to look for the lead. Side by side on the front. On the 4th, getting ready to go to the front straightaway. Good battle here for the lead. Side by side now going to back straightaway.
This is definitely what the rest of these guys in the back of this field want as they're lined up here.
Good side by side battle now. Russell Robinson now decided to fall back. Got a little loose right there off of 2 now. Going off 4, going into the front straightaway, going to 1.
Rusty realizing, you know, he could burn that right front tire up just being there side by side the whole time. You know, it could definitely hurt him. So he's going to get back into that line, and, you know, when he feels like he has that good enough run, he's going to look to make that move again, and that's going to be how it's going to work.
Rusty Robinson now trying to look to the inside of Javier. Coming in now back to single file now and back straightaway going into 3. Front straightaway now going into 1. Single file now back straightaway going into 3. Javier looked like he got a little loose now. Russell's trying to make his move now in the front straightaway.
Javier running a very high line there in that corner and was able to keep it under control, but that's going to put that 5 there, right there at his door again. Now the 02 pushing the 03, looking to make that P3 and P4 work and work their way towards the front as well.
Now right there, bring up, tighten up the field a little bit. Now Rusty in the inside. Now Javier in the front straightaway.
Let's not forget about Austin and Alan Marr back here in 5th and 6th. You know, they have been up here towards the front of this race almost the whole race here. So we're looking to see what they can do. Dan Collison also looking to close the door here now in P7 with Greg Langford in P8.
Oh, Rusty Robinson got a little loose. Now Scott has to bounce off now, and he's in the inside of Rusty. Papa Joe making the same move now, sticking with Scott.
Rusty Robinson currently running back here in that P5 spot now, looking to make his way back up towards the front of his field. He was having a good run here. He kind of got it, these cars got into that little bit of a run here and was able to get their way around them. Hopefully he didn't burn them up too early trying to battle Javier, and he's going to have to hope for a caution and just get some fresh fire.
If we have out another caution, Carter will be the lucky dog.
Alamar now making his way around the 95 here. They're currently teammates as well here, the number 9 and the 95. So, you know, working together is definitely going to be the strategy here. Definitely every bit of that to make it to the end of this race. You still have a whole lot of laps here, 75 laps to go. You know, you're going to have to work with your teammate if you have one. Try to get some help here. You know, do not try to pass each other. Stay in line. Focus, you know, coordinate how you're letting off that throttle and that brake pedal.
Scott Casanave now trying to look to the inside of Javier, but he decided to back off, got a little loose now, going in one. Signal foul now on straightaway. Get ready to go into one. Gonna be pretty consistent out here on this track. Because now Scott now trying to look to the inside of the air on the front straightaway. A lot of back and forth action going on here. And Bobby Joe now trying to hit right behind Scott.
They're keeping a real close gap here. The whole front of this field is right here piled up. And they are closing that gap even more and more here as we're going on.
Scott Casanave now looking to the inside of Javier. Now they're starting to come up on some of this lap traffic. That's definitely going to play a factor here in the Monster Mile. Side by side now, front straightaway. Scott the inside of Javier now going into one. They got a little loose back there touching doors.
Catching up here, Benny Jones in the number 20.
Whoa!
Benny going a lap down right here. Currently going to get a little bit of free here, but he's trying to stay out of the way of these other drivers here as they're really putting on a battle here and getting a good run.
And that is true, baby. Whoa! Hang on to it, guys. We got two in the wall
We got
back
some
here
more
front
in the
straightaway.
wall back here. Man, we got some cars in the wall here, but they're all going to keep going. Unfortunate, you know, not really sure what happened there, but that was definitely a rough one there. Benny just trying to get out of the way, but just wasn't going to be enough with the way the momentum was working here. Man. A lot of laps to go, though, so there could still be a caution. They'll be able to go get these cars fixed and do what they have to do.
Tough for those guys, man. I can feel it, man. I know the pressure, how these drivers are going on underneath the track right now here in the Monster Mile.
They didn't fall back too far here. They actually still have a pretty decent gap here. But if Rusty and Greg actually kind of work together and not battle it out here, they can definitely make something happen here. Scott Casanave now running the race, everybody, taking over that lead position here with a 02, running currently P2 with the 95, taking up P3 with Javier is going to be in P4 with Alan Marr taking up P5.
That will be round off your top 5 at this point. Scott looking good in the pole position right now. Going in 2 going back straight away.
I'll tell you what, this has been a good race here. You know, a lot of lead changes here, a lot of unexpected accidents happening. You know, very fun. Very good race. Very good race so far.
We have another caution. I don't want to jinx this right now, but Benny Jones will be the next lucky dog. Anything can still happen here in the Monster Mile. There's still a lot of laps left. Got a caution.
Looks like we're going to have William Martin there hit the wall, and he's going to bounce off, and he's going to hit Andrew, and that's going to make Andrew slide back into the wall there. At least it's not a front end damage. That front end damage could really hurt on the 31. William's going to get all that problems. He's going to get front damage and rear damage there, unfortunately. And by the looks of it, hopefully his race isn't over. I know he got caught up into some trouble earlier, so hopefully he can get that fixed and continue on and keep going. You know, currently running P4 when that happened.
William did touch a little bit of wall there and got in, and Andrew and both of them went around. That will bring out our 4th caution here at the Monster Mile.
Gonna have a lot of cars here on pit road currently getting ready to roll out. As looks like Scott Kasdan's going to be first off pit road here.
Looks like a pretty good race here off of pit road under the 4th caution. "61 laps left." Bobby boy, what's going you think is going to go through these drivers' minds at this point?
You know, a lot. You got a lot of drivers that got their lap back here. You know, they're back on that lead lap this time around. Let's not forget you had your lucky dog here, Benny Jones, now able to, you know, get back in this game here. And, you know, you're looking at 60 laps here. 60 laps is nothing here. The question is, you know, you have a fuel tank. You go in here, you get a full tank, enough to cover the whole end of this race, get some fresh tires. Do you push it the rest of the way and hope for another caution towards the end, and get tires thin, or do you just push it all the way and hope for the best?
I'll just cruise these next 10 laps here and wait to at least a lap 50 or lap 45 to at least start pushing it right then and there. Close to less to at least 45 laps left in this race.
That's going to put Hrt2Heart Arca, everybody, in P10. Next up, the lucky dog. With his dad currently leading this race, pace cars off.
Green flag. Scott Kasdan got a pretty good start there.
Austin on the inside lane there with Alamar on the outside. Javier looking to push again.
Just heard Alamar on the radio. He got a little damage.
fall back there a little bit. Austin now going to have to look in to get into line here. Rusty Robinson, that's what he needed. He needed that caution. Rusty Robinson now back up towards the front of this field. This is what he needed here. He was losing so much there off of that last accident. So it's good to see Rusty still have a shot at it here, y'all. We have a lot of battles going on here still today. We got Bud Light Mike back here with Andrew and Dan Collison back here, currently running in 8th and 7th place. A lot of battles going on in this field here. Bud Light Mike looking to make his way up here more towards the front of this field. Let's go racing, boys. Let's put them on a show. Let's go. As we got Ryan Perone back here with William Martin here in the 50, everybody. We're back on the leaders now, everybody, as Javier takes the lead again from the 03 of Scott Cazenave. Bobby Joe Lane now looking to work and make his way around Austin Cornpost to the 95. Austin currently running P3.
Scott Cazenave still trying to keep that tight spot. It gets behind Javier right now, going into one. Single file now on back straightaway.
As these guys get later into this race, they're realizing that straighter draft here, working together towards the front of this field, is definitely working, and they don't really want to push it double file till later in this race.
That is true, and that's when you want to actually start battling for a position here at the Monster Mile. You want to take your time and be easy and be smart, because the monster will come up and bite you. Now we're single file now, going in front straight away. Top 6 looking good, looking pretty good there on the front straightaway right now, going back straightaway.
Well, I hope you're all having an amazing night, y'all, with Hrt2Heart Motorsports. Please don't forget to check us out every Sunday live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all of our sponsors, Buchanan Resort, Allen Tillery, Buick GMC, everybody, Bass Tire. Make sure you go get your tires fixed there, over there in Nolensville Road in Nashville, Tennessee. Much love by the zoo, everybody. Don't forget. Also, y'all, let's show that love to all of the sponsors, CNL Carpets, Greg Langford, our race patroller here with Hrt2Heart. Much love to him and everything he does for us. Thank you to all of the sponsors and all of the fans.
Starting to come in now in a little bit of lap traffic. Going into 3 now, coming in first straightaway. Back straightaway now, going into 3.
Looking very clean here in the front of this field.
Javier looking pretty good as Bobby Joe now looking inside now. Scott Cassidy. Now we got 2 battles going on here between 2nd and 4th.
2 going to jump up in the front of the 03 here. Try to give that 03 the momentum still on that high side. Looking to stay more towards the middle of that corner there. And that's going to be able to get Rusty and Scott right there still together here and keep these guys in line.
Whoa! I think that was Austin bouncing off the turn 4 there.
Austin back here currently with Greg Langford. Greg Langford in that CNL Carpets car. Definitely looking to make something happen here. He is currently running P5. He is running a pretty consistent race. He's had a little trouble early on where he got into all of that damage. But now as we're getting closer to the end of this race, he is holding on strong, hoping that it'll be a good outcome.
43 laps in now. 43 laps to go as Javier still holding a consistent lead up front. It's Bobby Joe now trying to knock on his back door. Got a caution.
Here we go, everybody. We found it. Let's take a rewind here and see just what happened here. Man, that wasn't a pretty sight from what I just seen. So let's take a look here as we're riding along. We're going to take a ride along here. Wait a minute. No, wrong person, everybody. Here we go. Here we go. Let's slow motion here with Dan Colson, everybody. Gonna bump the 47. The 47 is gonna get a little free there, and he's gonna go sliding up the track. Andrew nowhere to go there currently, so he's gonna get into that. Unfortunately, you know, that's gonna hurt. 47 is gonna actually come back down there. Hold on, let's see if we could take another look at that here. All right, we'll go back and just rewind that just a hair here, so we could take a look at that after that happened here. So. But like Mike, unfortunately, you know, gonna get that bump, but that's gonna push him up there real hard. He's got no wheel control right now. He's got a lot of front end damage here. He's gonna go up, hit the wall again, and it's gonna bring him back down the track here, and back into that wall again. Man, a lot of damage there.
That
Looks
rough accident right there.
Looks like he's going to go in the pits here and hope to get some of that damage fixed and keep moving, you know. Hopefully he can finish this out with a good finish.
Brings out our 5th caution of this race.
Andrew currently without a clip here. Appreciate that there, Steve, saying it's in an awesome league. We appreciate you, Steve. We enjoy your presence, and I'm glad that you get to come in and you race with us here at Hrt to Heart. And for everything you drivers do, all of you, each one of you drivers, and just putting that effort in and coming in and railing these races. And, you know, for 14 weeks, you know, that's a lot of dedication here, you know, to put in 14 weeks and, you know, make something happen.
Here at Hrt to Heart, we do appreciate all of our drivers. Pace car is off.
Racing for a cause. Let's go.
Here, back to the restart. Green flag. Javier now got a good jump. He's been pretty good and consistent from this track right now so far.
Really good right now. here. Greg Langford going to get a little bit out of line back there. That's going to make him lose a little bit of momentum here. Definitely going to want to stay in that line here. Look at William Martin here now. William Martin, that car is the lucky dog, everybody, number 9. You look at the number 02, the number 2 here. Just going to have to stay in place and hope that he gets a caution and gets that lead back.
Hopefully Will Martin, he'll be our next lucky dog if we have a caution. I like
Mike, not looking too good here. A lot of damage. Javier and everybody looking to make their way around here. Probably just trying to really conserve that car right now. It's going to put him a lap down. Corn Post, everybody currently running in that P6 position here, right behind Greg Langford. And Alan Moore right here behind him.
in car now with Austin. Switched up to Russell.
Now riding with Greg Langford now, everybody. It's switching through these drivers really quick because there's a lot of action going on. Rusty Robinson. Let's take a little ride, baby. Ride, baby. Let's go. All right.
Oh!
You talk about bumper to bumper. The front of this field is bumper to bumper. They are giving it all they got here now. 0-2 of Bobby Joe Lane now on the inside again. Looking to take that lead from Javier. Rusty Robinson getting a big push to the 0-3 of Scott Cazenade.
Oh, Javier just scraped the wall a little bit. Bobby Joe now. Bobby Joe still looking to the inside of Javier. Going back straightaway. Single file now, back straightaway, going into 3.
You know, coming out of that corner there, turn 4 and hitting that wall, it can really help you, or it could really hurt you. You know, it could change your whole race because you're gonna either hit it too hard, and you're gonna just fly elsewhere to the inside of this track, or you're gonna bounce off of it and get a little bit of a run, just like you did there on that high side, Javier. So, man, what a run this whole field is done. Look, if you see how close these cars are running, there's definitely some good chaos.
The wall can help you, but it can also hurt you. You can bounce off that wall like a bouncy ball.
This is most likely one of the closest ARCA Series races I have seen this season.
And it's been a tough race for all these drivers now. Javier now in front. Turn 1 now, going into turn 2 now, going in back straightaway.
As we're now at 30 laps to go.
It's been a really tough race now for these drivers. It's been a really tough been a really tough race for these drivers right now. Javier is really consistent now. Back straightaway now, going in turn 3. Single file for all these drivers now, back straightaway. To go now. Javier is still holding a consistent lead. Now Bobby Joe now starting to knock on that back door a little bit, going into 3. Single file now, back straight away. Going into 3. Scott now walking the inside of Bobby Joe. Now single file, now front straight away going into 1.
Top 3 looking to try to pull away a little bit. They start battling up here. You're going to see the rest of the back of this field start to move forward again.
This break now will be a perfect time to do some battling. 25 to go. One, two, three. Now keeping it close. Now on getting ready to turn 2. Now going back straight away.
Rusty Robinson in that number 5 of the Buchanan Resort car in that Chevrolet looking to make some moves as well. Currently in 4th, closing that gap.
Scott Casanave now keeping it close. Bobby Joe now going in front, going into turn 1. Bobby Joe now trying to look to make his move now on Javier coming back straight. Got some more battles going on between Greg Langford now. Got some in the lap traffic now. Rusty Robinson on the outside.
Rusty gonna scrub the wall there a little bit as Bud Light Mike is going around Rusty Robinson here. Bud Light Mike currently 4 laps down here, maybe on some fresher tires here. But you know, honestly, this could help Rusty be able to get behind him, get that little bit of run here just to get around the rest of these guys or catch up to the rest of these guys. So hopefully he can stay off that wall and keep it rolling. Top 3 right here, Javier, everybody, Lane, and Casanova.
Single file now. Scott now looking the inside. Looks like Bobby Joe now looking the inside. Javier coming in front straight away. Bobby Joe now on the inside, now in turn 1, going into turn 2. Side by side now, get ready going in back straight away. Touching tours. Now, right beside Scott. Scott's right beside Bobby Joe.
Bud Light Mike getting a great run here. He's definitely on them fresh tires right now, pushing it to the limits with 4 laps to go. Or 4 laps down, excuse me.
Lap traffic now and now in single file in 1, 2, 3 there. Scott Casanave and Bobby Joe Lane. Scott now right behind Javier for the lead. Been a tough race for these drivers, real tough race.
We're at 18 laps to go, everybody. We are going to let these guys battle it out here for a minute, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lane from Bass Tire.
Hi, I'm Steve Bass. We're here at the legendary Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Good tires and brakes are important on this race car, and so are the tires and brakes on your vehicle.
For the very best in tires, brakes, and auto service, come make a pit stop at Bass Tire.
Serving Nashville for over 35 years.
On Nolensville Road, next to the zoo.
We are back racing with 13 laps to go, everybody, as we got Bud Light Mike up here battling these leaders here with just 13 laps to go. He's going to really need to let these guys go, and so these guys can get a run here as Scott Cazenave is now pulling away here.
Scott Cassidy now is starting to pull away from second and third place spots. Now going into one. Bobby Joe now on the inside of Javier now going back straightaway. Austin the inside now on Javier. Following Bobby Joe's line. Going in front straightaway.
Javier going to bump the wall there coming out. The 02 and the 95 looking to make their way up there to Scott. Do they have enough time here as we are 11 laps to go here. Scott Cazenave currently getting up here behind Andrew in the 31. Currently Andrew got damage. Andrew's going to get out of the way, let Scott on by. The 02 now looking to make his way. Austin is in the wall back here. The 95 is just going to hit that wall and it's going to grab him and take him for a ride here, and it looks like he's going to have to come in. He's got too much damage there here. Unfortunate, running such a good race here and get into that damage here.
That right there would not bring out a caution.
Javier currently running back here in that P3 spot here. Luna, they have lost too much momentum here. These leaders have lost such of a gap here, battling with that 47 a little bit. But they're 9 laps to go. The leaders are around him, and they're just going to have to give it all they can and push it to the limit. Now, Rusty Robinson now looking to make his way around the 07 here with 8 laps to go right now. Alan Marr right behind. This is a battle for 4th place right now.
Frosty now inside of Greg Lakeford. Alan Marr just right beside him. Coming in front straightaway now. Greg Lakeford now. Rusty Robinson now fall back right behind Greg Lakeford.
Definitely going to break back into a line here and wait for that opportunity and hope to get them here in the next couple laps.
Six to go.
So taking a look here at Lane in the 02, now currently running P2, looking to gain some speed and catch up to his teammate here as we are at 6 to go.
I got a feeling this is going to be a great battle between these two. These good 2 teammates here. 5 to go.
We have 5 to go here. These guys are gaining on the back of this field here. Some of this lap traffic. We only have 5 laps to go. Do they get close enough here that to the point it's going to slow them down and give these 2 a battle right here at the end?
Hopefully it should be playing a factor if they can keep from it, but that really depends how Scott's going to finish this race off and get ready to be 3 laps to go.
02's keeping a lot of speed here. He's definitely closing that gap now down 0.2 seconds.
Bobby Joe now closing the gap on Scott. Now coming back straightaway.
Javier currently running that P3 spot right now with Greg Langford 5 seconds away from the leader. They have done fall back a lot here.
Scott now get ready to come around for the final lap. Bobby Joe right behind now Scott.
02's going to have to push it really hard on this final lap. If he's going to make anything happen, he's going to have to give it all it has to make his way around here. As Scott is right here behind his son Carter here. Lane, the 02, is now looking to the inside of the 03, side by side here, coming to the finish line. Scott Cazenave is going to take the win.
That was a good close race between these two teammates. Good racing between these two.
Sir, what a battle they put on here. Scott Cazenave, everybody, your race winner, everybody, tonight here at Dover for 150 laps. Your current championship leader here right now, doing amazing stuff here this season. Scott Cazenave now leading the Legend Series, and he's currently leading right now here at Dover. This is going to be your race results here on the screen, everybody. Y'all make sure to check those out. And congrats to Scott Kaz, everybody. Scott Kaz is definitely doing it to this one.
Burn it down, Scott. Burn it down, buddy. You deserve it. That was one tough race. Good racing to all these drivers. Sorry about the few that didn't make it, but we understand. We still respect for all these drivers.
Tell you what, I really enjoyed that one. That was definitely a fun race to watch here. As we let the champion here go ahead and finish up his burnout, let's start here with P3. We'll pull P3 in first, and then we'll work our way down to P1. You know, we'll do it that way. Let's see. Well, maybe. We don't have Javier in the chat. If Javier, you hear me, if you're out there, come on in the chat. No, let's give you a holler. There he is. We'll go and get him in here. All right.
There he is.
Javier, you got a copy?
Copy.
Man, I tell you what, that was an exciting race. You went up there, you led a few laps, you backed off a little bit, you went up and led some more laps. You know, strategy definitely came into play tonight. You know, that right front tire definitely could be a big problem. But, you know, you was able to hold a pretty consistent race and pull off a P3.
Yeah, frustrating one to lose, but congrats to Scott. And, you know, it was, like you said, tire management all the way. My first stint, I, you know, wore down my tires, so I kind of learned my lesson there. So the second stint, after the pit stop, I managed the tires a little bit more. But when racing, I kind of hit the wall, some of those race deals, and no fault of anybody, just hard racing for first. I knocked the toe out of my car, so I was driving a bit damaged there. But yeah, good race. I mean, feeling good about third place still. And yeah, congrats again to Scott.
Yes, sir. Well, congrats to you. You know, you got a good battle going on for the points. So congrats to that, and go ahead and give your shout outs.
Shout out to my family who's visiting here from Puerto Rico. So to everybody over there, and to you guys, you know, doing a wonderful job with broadcasting. And yeah, looking forward to the championship race now that half of the races are done.
Sir, we're halfway there, but a lot more points to be made. So have a wonderful night, my friend, and we hope to see you again in the booth.
Copy that. You too.
All right, everybody, that's going to put the 02 of Lane in that second place spot. We're going to pull the 02 down here. The 02 put on a good race tonight as well. He led a few laps himself and definitely was looking to come back and get it there at the end against his teammate of the 03, Scott Kaz. So definitely a fun race tonight, right? It looked like you had a good time and, you know, was able to conserve them tires the best you could because it was definitely a long race and tire wear was a factor. So how you feeling?
Tired. It was fun. It was you had to be on throttle control. But it was a good race. Yeah, save your tires. Didn't know when to pit. Fresh tires made a big deal, and we had to sit still in the pit. So I don't know. It was fun. looking forward to going to Bristol next week.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a fun with her. You know, fast cars at a very, very small track.
Yeah, I thought I could get Scott, but same time I didn't want to wreck him. He's points leader, so we did best we could.
Well, congrats on that. Go ahead and give your shout outs.
I'll give a shout out to all the sponsors in this league. Bass Tire, Rusty Buchanan Resort, and Greg, C&L Carpets, and Scott, my teammate, went out and Taylor Chevrolet. Thanks to you and J Dog for doing what you do. And I want to give a shout out to my granddaughter Abraham and Riley and Christian and Peyton and my wife, and that's about it.
All right. Well, we hope to catch you in the booth again, and we hope you have a wonderful night. All right, everybody. Now we're gonna grab Scott Cazenave, everybody. Scott Cazenave pulling off a great win here at Dover. You know, there was a lot going on here tonight, but you was able to lead some a little early on, fall back a little bit, and, you know, work your way back towards the front of this field, and you and your teammate put on a little show there at the finish line, you know, but you know, it worked out, and you pulled it off, brother. How you feeling?
Feel like I got lucky. He was catching me there at the end. I didn't have much left there at the end. I got around Javier, and man, I've tried to take off, and I just didn't have enough there at the end, but it was enough to win it. I'm like J-Dog. I'm the real deal.
That's what I'm talking about. J-Dog is the real deal, you know.
He is the real deal. He the man.
So when he says J-Dog, and that's our co-host here, y'all make sure you call him the real deal. The real deal is in the building at all times.
Yeah, the real deal. But yeah, it was a great race. I was patient and tried to save my stuff. I was fixing the pit, and we had that caution, so it worked out real good in my favor. I got 4 tires. I knew I'd be strong there at the end, and I was just following around trying to save my stuff the best I could for the end. And it looked like my teammate Bobby Joe saved just a little bit more. He was coming there at the end, and it just paid off. It was a good race. It was tough. I'm glad it's over with.
All right. Well, you got any shout outs?
Of course, Abrianne, Abby, my baby girl. Hope you're watching. I love you. Much love. Alan Tillery Chevrolet, Buchanan Resort, Bass Tire, C&L Carpets, all of our sponsors. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Much love, man.
Oh, also, let's let you know about your son tonight. Your son pulled off a P7 with his first race.
Yeah, it was his first race. Told him to just be patient, try to save his stuff, and finish the race. He did a good job. He's gonna be good in the future. It's gonna take him a little bit, but he's gonna get there. He's got the Cazenave blood in him, BJ.
That's it. Well, brother, we hope you have a wonderful night tonight, and thank you so much for stepping in the booth and having a few words with us, and we hope to see you in here again.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all very much for broadcasting it. We appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have
All right, everybody, that's going to wrap it up for tonight's race here at Dover for 150 laps. Hrt2Heart Motorsports, please make sure you check us out every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We hope to catch you again live with us. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. You can also go to showingheartfam.com for any Hrt2Heart information. J-Dog, what's the special words, brother?
We will see you next Sunday at Bristol. Good night, everybody.